Against the other shit. What? Tweaking my folks. Hey, somebody always said it's laugh car. Somebody always said it's laugh car.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else.
If you did not see it, the news reported, words from Durk's father have Durk being released on bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he don't give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is by the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
As a result, the judge's ruling took 4 days to reach. Unfortunately, Lil Durk's bond would be refused since he was simply too wealthy. The news reported, the feds say Lil Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted bond, as they fear he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's gonna have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
However, following Durk's bond denial, a widely shared tweet went viral. It says, if you think Durk was denied bond because he's rich, you know nothing about this case. Didi's brother just snitched on all of OTF, and instead of making it public, they're hiding it to catch Durk's lawyers by surprise. I discovered the evidence files and they are rather alarming. It is in writing. The new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and OTF members has changed this case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal. What did Ted say to the federal government? Durk's main hitter, Ted, is also known as OTF Day-Day's brother. Ted had a gun in his jeans pocket when he was arrested by cops at a nearby convenience shop.
Really? What about that? A man had a clip with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Ted was being driven to the police station at this point. In an attempt to avoid going to jail, he assures the police, I swear I will tell you all about the killings, Ife, before he even enters the car, tears streaming down his face. But for him, it was already too late.
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I take out of my I swear to God, I take out of my speech, I swear, I think by everything, I swear to God, I think I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Ted is shown sobbing uncontrollably as he is put in the waiting cell, wanting nothing more than to simply turn on the murderers he knows and get out of jail.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? Settle down, what you saying, man? What's the CO we can do for you? You gotta relax, bro. Relax, man. I want to get a grip. Relax. Give me no, I'm saying, what are you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Durk's best friend Bezu responded on Instagram Live saying that because OTF Didi is his older brother, everyone assumed that DD or possibly OTF Vani King Von's cousin, was the person who had snitched their family's last name in court documents.
No motherfucker know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real. There'll be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the fuck be going on for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell shit, but that's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all just put the jam rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. My kids, y'all really just be running your agent. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them on school. Put under the jail.
This is where things got really crazy though, since DJ Academics would talk on OTFV&I and was accused of snitching against Durk, which led to a lot of confusion.
When you see Flacco post something, you almost gotta be like, look at this headline. Lil Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vonnie, King Von cousin, filed for protective custody when they came to court. Okay. That sounds so crazy. This is why we have streams like this. This is, you know, I'm not gonna get on anybody or anything like that, and I'm not gonna ever say that I haven't, you know, maybe jumped maybe once in a while, but I definitely do aim to be correct, and I never try to be incorrect out of malice, right? This is why we love to bring up the paperwork and try to explain it, and also increase everyone's knowledge on stuff, because a lot of times these days the headline is way better than the story.
It becomes clear why there is no relationship when you combine all of this with the evidence that is currently available. One change that many people overlooked is over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports, are currently being processed for discovery. They got the evidence from Jam, who is an OTF member. According to a court update, the feds think Durk paid to deal with these two individuals. First, Stefan Mack, who acquired D-Thang, Durk's brother. Second, after Durk discovered that OTF Jam had a wire around his neck, his baby mama passed away. According to the feds, OTF Jam holds the secret to locking Durk up for all three offenses. Durk discovered Jam was wearing a wire during this Instagram live. Jam was observed muttering into his jacket while gripping the top of it.
Hey, kid! You need to check on your man. What you got to say? Hey, hold on, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I never having a day architect. I'm having a day. Schools and stuff like that.
But Durk knew Jam was acting strangely months before he was detained. It was declared, Durk has been playing 3D chess this entire time. He knew OTF Jam was going to cooperate.
I see shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your way is gonna cooperate.
As Durk would go on to discuss, he no longer even lets his pals know where he lives and provides no information to anybody. His sadness at knowing that Jam is snitching is evident.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type of guy. I'm not the. I'm gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's like watch. Yeah. Well, we got everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
The individuals in the background were then targeted by OTF Jams, the same man Durk gave $50,000 to during this Instagram live.
What's his name, buddy? Steady crying. He's steady crying. Leave him. Get the milk, bro. Get the milk because they want me to fair.
See that? So my baby, they talking about, that's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This shit too much. Crazy though. Most people be sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. I'm some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. Whatever it is I want to go out and do it. Not what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro.
Bro got out what? You know, how many you did now?
And the year I did now?
Yeah, they ain't let it be. 12.
12. That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. Really just get, order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
The federal authorities looked into the people in the background of that Instagram live. They were shopping for jewelry with King Von, demonstrating their close friendship.
Solitary stone.
Let's go over there. Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
They are filing another M case against Durk because of OTF Jam as a result of all of this. The judge was shown this Instagram story of Durk laughing the next day, as well as this one for D Thang, which was uploaded half an hour after Stefan Mack's death.
They can't see other shit, boy. Boy, tweaking my folks. Hey, somebody always said it's live car. What is this? Live car.
But despite everything, Durk still has a chance to be released from prison because the prosecution has been destroying his evidence, which will help him win the case.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy. And now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As he stated, the prosecution's case is becoming weaker because they are no longer able to use Durk's lyrics. Durk's attorney is calling the allegations absurd because the government only had lyric evidence against Durk, but they are no longer even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Drew, Durk's attorney, would state unequivocally that they wish to go the extra mile. However, given the new charges, this might not be the best course of action. Academics would inquire if Durk would consider accepting a plea bargain. No, we are going all the way, responds Drew.
Likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy to commit murder case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit murder. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They have a single reason for making the entire journey. In order to win the case, Durk's attorneys are using this as leverage, claiming that everything Durk does in his music and online is an expression of his First Amendment rights.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is...
Durk appears to be doing well. Online attorneys are even predicting that, like Young Thug, he will be released from prison.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
He continued by explaining that the prosecution probably does not know anything about rap culture. Similar to Thugs, this has occurred in numerous instances.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
However, the federal government is aware of one aspect of hip-hop. Brick Baby was just detained since they know that everyone is connected. The news reported prosecutors delayed Durk's chance of being released on bond to gather last-minute evidence against him for the next hearing. Chatter of a new snitch is going around the courtroom, which is probably Brick Baby's arrest. It was declared last week Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and others all arrested in a Rollin' 60s gang takedown. As it would then be shared, lawyers and sources believe Brick Baby, who was arrested in the latest gang takedown, will snitch on OTF rapper Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds will force Brick Baby to give everything up on Durk, because Brick Baby was the reason why the feds initially targeted Durk, for M for hire. You cannot say Durk never slid for Von because they got Lil Pap, he said on a live stream 3 years ago. Brick Baby appeared on livestream after Durk was detained, reacting to the previous interview in a way that suggested he brought Durk to the attention of the federal government.
But was this an attempted hit?
I can't do that no more.
Then they put you.
Why?
That.
Like,
You can't say that no more.
oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh,
Federal charges in California.
nah, because Lil Pop.
So this is about the.
Oh. What's that? But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
Did you know though that Brick Baby said something even worse? Durk's song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was used as evidence by the government. They made a connection between it and quote, Brick Baby says that he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Durk had asked because he is loyal to him.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. The bitch who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been talking. If he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, could I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said, if he make the call right now, I'd days of these something.
Right.
Now that the feds have him in custody and are bringing severe charges against him, he will ultimately be forced to turn on Durk. However, were you aware that it was announced? Charleston White says he's responsible for Brick Baby being locked up by the feds.
I'm the one that put the feds on Brick Baby. I keep telling y'all niggas think I be playing. When Brick Baby went to Houston and was playing on the internet and put that $10,000 stack on his head and indirectly said, hey, I got some money on Charleston's head. And he continued to act like he was pursuing me. I made a federal report. First, I called Houston and made the report to Houston, but I did this through my law enforcement friend. So, not only that, we filed a report with the feds in LA, along with the LA County Police. I swear to God.
Charleston White, who was pleased when Durk was arrested, is not the biggest admirer of Durk either.
This is a real victory.
Now that demonic force, it was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Black Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the feeling part of it.
Did you know, however, that Durk's wife, India Royale, was caught cheating just before he was set to be free from prison? Someone tweeted that Durk's baby mama, India, was allegedly seen at a party with her hand on another man's leg, with one of her friends releasing the video. It would be evident from screenshots that it is taking place, and India responded the following morning.
Family, do we know you? Yeah, you a grown-ass man. Do y'all remember when men used to like lay concrete, change tires, go to wood? Now these niggas that's on the internet gossiping all day. Like, what's happened?
DJ Academics and 6ix9ine would share their thoughts when this became popular on the internet.
Alright, so you want to bet 10,000 right now that hold on,
Durk,
hold on.
told about some other shit.
We talking about India now.
She's a good girl. She's
You met her?
I haven't met her, but
So why you saying she a good girl? Like,
because I hear the drama about everybody's relationship, and I know any rapper who could say something about me and they got a public girl, I could tell you who your girl slept off when she was mad at you. Like, I know all of that. I've never heard no dirt about her. Just to keep it a beat. Never heard nothing about her, period.
all right, but she gonna be faithful to the trial.
Yeah,
Anything after that?
I mean, you never know how it goes. I mean, if somebody, how does it go if somebody's, again, I'm not wishing upon him, but if he gets life, like, how did that go with your girl? She's supposed to be faithful or no?